So it played out perfectly, which is really, really nice. And you can see just based from the right shoulder, depending on where you got in, let's just say you got in around here. This was about 155 pip trade. So it was really beautiful. Did everybody see this when he sent it out? Like, did you guys see the formation of it? Even if you didn't get into the trade, just being able to see how the Head and Shoulders was forming, how, you know, like he basically.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. Well,
I didn't see it.
he basically saw, you know, a neckline. Okay. There was some market structure right here, you guys. Okay. It was nice market structure. And it was obvious that it was being respected. And after looking at that, we noticed an inverted Head and Shoulders. So there was a left shoulder, a head, and there was a prediction that a right shoulder was going to be formed. So, you know, we weren't sure. Nobody was sure about it. And it took some time. You can see where it kind of just danced around here and consolidated. It faked everybody out around here. I bet you a lot of people were looking to buy right here, and then it just dropped. You see how it did that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what I tell you guys, this is liquid volatility. So when you see perfect retest to market structure, like this is support, resistance, 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 you see how the candles, yes, there are wicks, but the candles close below this strong area of structure. Whenever there's like a quick breakthrough and then the candle comes right back down and closes below either a resistance or support level, this is called liquid volatility, okay? And typically what happens here, and yes, I see the gap right here. But what happens here is the market usually will have like a major impulse when moves like that occur, okay? So most likely anyone that got into a sell was probably stopped out because they probably put their stop loss above previous market structure, which was like right here, above the previous high, right? Most people do this. Most people do this. They would have gotten in for the sell because they would have saw all this candle exhaustion and assumed that it was prepared for a sell. I'm sure this move took a lot of people's money and probably scared a lot of people. The opportunity to get back into the trade was when the moment this candle right here, it gapped below, you can see this, but then it closed below. So when this candle closed below structure, okay, I'm gonna delete this. We can see that these candles right here to the left formed as a support area, this candle exhaustion. You see this right here, all these candles moving sideways, they formed as support. So if you were looking to get into a sell to complete that right shoulder or to previous structure or to previous, whatever area, you know, whatever you want to do for your TP goal, your next step from here is to literally just go down to the smaller time frame and see if you can get a breakout retest. And look at what happened, you guys. It broke out, retested. So now what was once support became resistance, and it also gave a double retest. Actually, it gave a couple, it gave a triple retest, to be honest with you. So it gave you 1, 2, 3 opportunities to take advantage of a bearish impulse, which was predicted. Right?
So I would have got in at that red, close of that red candlestick.
You would have gotten the moment of the retest. So when this bull candle right here, like when this candle right here was unable to close above this area, okay, that was your indication that you have an opportunity to get in for a sell.
Okay.
Okay, because it broke out, it retested, and it closed below. Does that mean guarantee win? Absolutely not. But these are the confluences that we're going to look for when we're entering the trade, okay? Just by using basic market structure, we can see, I could probably bring it down a little bit, but the market respected this area a lot, all right? It respected it a lot. So in order for me to consider not buying, I would have to do a breakout or retest, close below, and then that's my indication, okay, I'm interested in taking this down. Now, if you would have took this down and held it, a couple of days later, it came right back to entry. Does this mean that you get out of the trade? No, because look at the price action. It closed below the resistance area. Once again, it came back, it closed below the resistance area. Usually, when you see some type of engulfing candle break a level of structure, then sometimes that's an indication that we may have to change in direction. And you can see right here where this candle wasn't able to penetrate, but this candle right here it penetrated and it closed above. So the moment it did that right here, that's an indication like, wait a minute, there's a possibility that the inverted head and shoulders that I had in mind is about to play out, or that, you know, a buy is about to occur. And you can see where it literally just, it broke out, closed above, broke out, landed on top of that neckline of that inverted head and shoulder we saw on the 4 hour, and then it just took off. Okay, so this was a really nice trade that Brody found. He did an amazing job. This one for sure tested patience, because this sideways movement, I remember when we were in this area right here, I was like, just, you know, wait for a confirmation. When you have this type of consolidation like this, you don't trade this, you wait for confirmation. And in this case, yeah, it broke out, okay, but then it came right back down. It was a little bit of a fake out. So, you know, it is what it is. So it was a beautiful trade. Congrats to Brody on this one. Let's look at something else. Let me see. JPY was something that I looked at on Monday, and what I was looking for was, I was basically looking for it to come down, and I wanted to see how it was going to react to this structure area right here. Okay, so I wanted to see if it was going to be able to push down here and either continue going up, or maybe it'll try to make a left shoulder ahead, a right shoulder, and go down. We just have to wait and see. But we can see with this market structure, the market, like right here where there was resistance, okay, that became support, it's now broken it and it's closed below. So if I see that this is closed below, then my analysis of this coming down to at least here will most likely happen. So again, it's a 4 hour candle. You can go down to the 1 hour to see what you get, and we have a nice little spinning top here, which is typically an indication that we will get a change in direction. So it's bullish, and most likely it's going to come down. So this could be a really nice, just, you know, intraday trade, right? And then if you want to ride it, you could, but you can see that just here in the 1 hour, we have left shoulder, head, we have a right shoulder that's forming. If it breaks and retests the neckline, then it will confirm my analysis from the higher time frame. So this is AUD JPY, and what's crazy is I think Aussie is strong right now, but for an intraday setup, okay, for the smaller setup, this could be a nice little opportunity, just a small trade. AUD USD, hold on, you guys, 1 second. Let me pause this real quick. Oops, I didn't need to do that, but so much chatting. Hold on. Hey, Roscoe. Roscoe's been the man. So we can see here that literally, look, just by looking at this, we have a nice little, you know, I would say just a double top to make it just sound easier, but it's a very strong resistance area the market has not been able to penetrate. And this is a strong area, okay? And we can see that previously in September, the last time the market hit this area, it came down. And I'm sure if we go to the daily, look, let's make this look. You can see where it was support, broke through, basically retested, came down. It's retesting again. And now it's a matter of determining if it's going to be able to break this area or not. Now, the Aussie is technically stronger than the US dollar at the moment. However, this is a really strong resistance area, and Aussie is a little slow at times. It's not really a fast moving pair. Hold on, I'm trying to see your chat. Here we go. Oh, can't tell. Okay, good morning. So at the moment, I'm just gonna wait and see how it reacts to market structure. And the most recent level of market structure is like around here. So it's a matter of saying, is this going to be able to pull back all the way down here to give us a really nice retracement for a continuation up, or is it going to change direction? And if we just draw our fib from like the high to the low, we can see that this area is between the 30, 20, and 50 area. And if this starts respecting it, then great, we may get a big impulse. But as of right now, I think it's just pulling back. I don't know if there's enough momentum to bring it back down to this market structure. This is what I would like to see. Whether I'm going to get that or not, it just depends. But I would like to see it come back here, land on top, and then continue going up and, you know, that. All right. What's the next one? Euro USD. This was one that I looked at with the team. And basically what I was expecting was for this trend line to basically be retested. Now I know it was retested here on the smaller scale, but normally on the daily or higher time frames, a bigger retest will occur. And I literally just drew a line where market structure was at, you guys. Look, support, resistance. And I'm just trying to see if it could come back down here to this market structure where it's been attracted to since July, okay? So this has been a very, very strong level. If this can come back up here and respect this area, then I'll definitely look for a continuation up. However, I'm not gonna ignore this ugly left shoulder head, you know, it's kind of like this, and it could make a right shoulder right here and then go all the way up. So, and if I wanted to, you guys, I could draw like a counter trend line, which matches with my analysis right here, which would make the right shoulder, and then, you know, now we're doing what if scenarios. But then, you know, wait for the breakout retest to take up, but we're not there yet. So at this moment, so far, my analysis for it coming down to structure is playing out. I'm very happy about that. And so far, it's been about 60 pips. So let's see if we can get it down to this area, check for reaction, and possibly a bullish continuation. Was EA one that I looked at? Okay, EA. So EA has been in, it's, you know, you guys know I've been waiting so long for this right shoulder to just freaking come down and complete this weekly gap, and it's taking forever. It's been like horrible. And at the moment, it's really respecting this channel and having a hard time. So you see all this candle exhaustion right here, and then we had a bullish candle right here, come and land on top. I don't know if this is going to have the momentum to go all the way down at the moment. I think that, you know, it's going to dance around for a little bit and possibly, you know, give us a nice little push up. It's respecting it. So yes, it's still bearish from here because I think this is a 61 fib level. So if we draw our fib, like just on this most recent swing high and swing low, yeah, we can see that it's respected this 61 area a lot. So if I can maybe get it to close below the 50, like come back up, close below the 50, we may see that nice impulse down. There is a lot of Euro news that's going to occur tomorrow. So I think it's going to give us that push that we need to determine, you know, what's going on. EJ has been absolutely beautiful. So if you saw, I gave you guys an update on the trade, but you can see where we had a beautiful, beautiful trend line. It was broken, it was retested right where market structure is at, right here, okay? It's not gonna be the most beautiful, but just by looking at simple price action, the trend line was broken, it closed below, gave you another opportunity. And one thing I've taught in the past is when you have a 1-2 retest, that double retest is usually that move where you're gonna like bank and make a lot of money on. And you can see it was a quick move, came right back to entry, probably scared a ton of people, but most traders know that that double retest is a really good sign, and that's like an indication of a huge impulse, and it went straight to TP, went right to our previous market structure right here. So last week or the week before, our TP for the buy, well, my TP for the buy was 120,500. It's come back to that area. So now I'm just waiting to see if it's going to continue to respect this area. If it can't break it and retest, then I'm not going to look for the sell. If it continues to make a higher, like if it breaks this high, you know, then it's time to change your bias. So there's definitely a possibility. I'm going to show you this. See, there's a left shoulder, there's a head, and it could be a right shoulder. So there's definitely a possibility of this coming up and continuing to go bullish. And hold on, looking at the weekly, y'all, real quick. Yeah, I wanted to see a pullback, like back down here to this gap. Like I wanted to see a pullback here, and then a continuation up. That's what I want, but I don't always get what I want. So we'll see. But the trade played out. It was a beautiful trade. I don't know if anybody took it, but it played out. It was really nice. Euro DPP. This one right here. Let me go to the weekly. It is ugly. So what I wanted with this trade a couple weeks ago was an inverted head and shoulder, like left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And it is at a really, really, really strong level. Yes, we have some slippage here, but it is at a strong level. So I'm waiting to see if it's gonna just land on top and then go up, or if it's gonna do, this is a breakout retest and for a possible bearish continuation. If it does continue to go bearish, then clearly it's going to be attracted to the previous area it hit before. So I'm really looking forward to this news. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm looking forward to this news to see what my overall bias is on it. I do see a lot of exhaustion right here just with all these wicks, and the market's having a little bit of a hard time going, moving in a bullish direction. So I'm not too sure on this one. I probably just need to analyze it on my alone time, and I can let you guys know. However, we know that if this gains strength, then the GBP is going to weaken and vice versa. All right, GA. You guys know that I told you that it was a very strong level of support right here. And if the market respected, then I would look for another push up, especially with this bullish flag. If not, I would look for a breakout and retest. So I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced right now. Let me delete all this. There's no need for me to do this because we know how the market works. So right now, like you can see, we have really, really nice flag. The support's really, really, really strong. And GBP today is pretty strong, but it's overall weak. So I need to see a breakout. And you guys know, like, I don't rush trades. I need confirmation. So I need to see like either a huge engulfing candle breakout. I need a retest to land on top of this flag for confirmation, or a nice big breakout retest, like a really strong breakout retest, not like a little candle. I need something a little bit stronger to confirm the momentum of this trade right now, because it's to me, I feel like it's in a struggle period. So your best bet is to put alerts for these areas so that you don't miss it, because it will have a tendency to sneak up on you and you'll be like, oh man, I missed it. So just, if you're watching one pair or two pairs, just keep your eye on this bad boy, because I think it'll pay a lot of bills. GJ. So GJ, I've had some fun with GJ personally, and we can see that pretty much on the 4 hour, our trend line was broken and retested and it came down. Now I'm gonna go to the daily real quick just so you guys can see. This is another one very synonymous to GA. Do you see this level of support where these candles are just dancing on right here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I have to see a break and retest. Okay. When I see something like this, I'm not rushing the trade. Okay. Look at down here, for example. You see where all these candles had like a support area right here? Finally, a candle broke out, retest. We had an indecision candle on the daily, which is a very strong indication that the market is going to be bearish from there. Okay, so that's when I would start looking for my entry. This right here, I need to see a candle break. I can wait for my retest and then confirmation and go down or up. It just depends. As of right now, it is stuck here. So what do? Put your alerts on, wait for that nice strong confirmation. You may not get anything this week. You may get something next week, or it might be to the later part of this week. So just be patient. Don't rush the trade. But whenever you see something like this, typically a nice setup is about to occur. GN is going to be doing the same thing. GN actually moved a little bit faster. So you can see here where the candles basically played as support, right? Let's see.
Yes.
And you can see where it broke out, it retested. Now on the daily, what is this, you guys? Like, we just had this for homework this week. This is going on YouTube, so you better answer.
A lot of candle exhaustion.
What type of candle was the homework this week? Yes.
Bearish.
Indecision candle. Roscoe, he texted. Indecision candle. The moment you got this break on the daily and then the daily close with an indecision candle, that is a huge, huge, huge sign for you to start looking for an entry to get some pips. And this is GBP. So we know we can easily get 50 to 100 and 200 pips. Like, that's nothing. And I'm going to take it to the next level of structure. okay? Or your set amount of pips, whatever. So just by this right here, this candle right here, you go to the smaller time frame and you start looking for your setup, okay? Now on your setup, yeah, I can draw all these lines, right? I can do this, all of that, just to get some more confirmation. But you can see where the market respected this trend line and gave you an opportunity to get in. And even if you miss this, look, the market structure right here, it came back, it retested, and literally the move from here to here was 162 pips, you guys. Did you see what I did? I know, like you guys know I'm a swing trader, so of course I'm gonna look for answers on the weekly and the daily. But the moment that I saw that these candles were serving as support, what was my candle that made me say, oh snap, I think I got something? Which candle was the one to make me think that?
The indecision candle.
That was the confirmation.
The
Which
The
one?
retest candle.
No, no, the indecision candle was the retest candle. Looking at this between the candle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which candle made me say, oh snap, I think we may have something here?
The little doji.
Nope. Before the retest, what has to occur?
a breakout.
Breakout. So which candle is breaking out? Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3, 4, or 5?
4.
4. Look at my trend, look at my line. Which candle closed below it? Which candle compromised my structure? This one.
Oh, okay. I see.
See?
I see now. Yeah.
This one right here compromised it to the upside. This one landed on top. Landed on top, all closed above, but this one didn't. So the moment this candle did not close, okay, above it, I'm gonna wait for my retest to confirm what I'm assuming, right? I'm gonna start marking up my chart, and then I'm gonna wait for it to come to my analysis.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and this is me just using basic price action, you guys. Just looking at candles. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
He said, I missed it, Minty. Oh, dang. And you guys know, we have our little secret patterns, and I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to put this on YouTube. But I showed you guys how to draw your lines to practice those patterns. So you need to exercise that. Okay, I'm not going to show it right now. I can do another Zoom about it, but it's there. This right here, like I wish I would have looked at this one, to be honest with you. I wish I'd have been prepared for this, because what day was this? October 20th. What day was that? That was Sunday. So Sunday's candle was actually the candle to get us going. But look at how the market came all the way back up. So you couldn't rush this. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't rush this. But Sunday's candles, when you're like, okay, it's breaking structure. Let me see what happens on Monday. Monday occurs. Monday gave you an indecision candle at a very strong level of structure. That's when you say, this is 5 o'clock Monday. So this is Asian session, okay? So Asian session was when this candle closed. That's when, and I don't like Asian session, but that's when it closed. And that's when we're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna start marking this up. We all know GBP moves at a certain time. I'm gonna be ready for this. I'm gonna mark her up. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna put my alerts. I'm gonna put my sell limit orders in, or whatever you wanna do. You're gonna be ready for this trade. And you could have been almost 200 pips in profit. That could have been $2,000, $200, $20, $2, whatever lot size you're using. Okay, so you can do the same thing on smaller time frames. You guys know my schedule. I can't trade every day. Like I've been in gold for 3 weeks. So it just is a little bit easier for me, and I trade for freedom. I don't trade to be by the computer 24/7. So swing does require you to be more patient, but the confirmations that come along with swing trading are just so great. And once you get this right here, if you wanted to scalp your way down to your goal or get into little intraday trades on the way to your goal, you can do that as well. But once you understand what's happening on the higher time frame and the direction, that is an ultimate sign for you to go ahead and capitalize off the movement.
Okay.
Y'all good? Everybody good?
Yeah. Is this being recorded?
It's recorded. It's actually going on YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I'm not going over our special. I'm not going over like special patterns. I'm just going over price action because most people go over this stuff, but I want people to see like what we do, what are our meetings about, you know, like what we talk about, because I get asked that a lot and I'm very secret. I don't want to say I'm secret. Yeah, I am secretive. I'm kind of like, it's none of your business, but just pay for the dang course, you know? Like, I promise it's gonna work. But this was a really, really, really nice setup, okay? Really nice setup. And we know, look, if this comes down to this structure, what are we gonna wait for a continuation if that's going to happen?
The break and retest.
I'm gonna wait for the break and retest. And since I'm doing this on the daily, I want that break to occur on the daily, okay? Because I'm marking it up on the daily. And then if I wanna go on a smaller time frame for a retest, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. I personally have now been programming myself to I'm just waiting for daily confirmations. Like that's just what I've been doing. Like I don't even look at the 4-hour anymore. I just look at the daily candle and I'm like, okay, I'm good for the day. Which I can tell you guys, it's taken me 3 years to get to that point where I don't even have to go to the smaller time frame and freak out. So that's going to take time, but you can do this on any time frame. This is just what I feel comfortable working with.
But you still put the order at the smaller time frame, right, Jess?
Yeah, I personally look for my entries on the 4-hour.
Okay, but then you just wait for confirmation on the daily. That's it.
Correct.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing because I've just been busy, y'all. Like my life is just a little crazy. And back then in the day, I used to follow this Ichimoku guy. His name is Carl. I don't know his last name, but when I was trading the cloud a couple years ago, I would always wonder why he was always just working on the daily. Like, why is he working off the daily? Why is he just looking off the daily? This makes no sense to me. And now that, like, for example, I've been holding on to gold for 3 weeks and I'm not having to go to a 4-hour, like people keep messaging me and they're like, aren't you in gold? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm in gold all the way up here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm at the very, very top of the move. It's been 3 weeks worth of candles. Like it's all the way down here. If that trade decides to move up freaking 400 pips, then that's a loss that I'm just willing to take. You know what I mean? Like I'm so deep into the trade. Like I'm chilling. I'm good. But looking at the daily candles really do help. Like for example, this market structure right here, I'm sure if I moved left, well, I had that it's a monthly level, so I'm kind of cheating, you know, but this engulfing candle right here, it compromised this previous high. So the moment this previous high was compromised with an engulfing candle, I'm looking for a pullback candle to occur after that, right? A pullback has to occur. It's not going to always be the next candle, but the moment this candle closed on top, okay, it closed right on top of this previous high for structure, that's my sign to find an entry, you guys, because look, if it's a buy, right? If it's a buy, do I want to get in on a buy candle or do I want to get in on a sell candle? Ooh, I'm making y'all think, huh?
At the buy?
If you're in a buy, okay, this is the trend. Do I want to enter the trade on a buy candle or do I want to enter on a sell candle?
Sell candle?
Why do I want to do that?
I have no idea.
Because it's the pullback.
So I enter on the close of that sell candle. That's when I would enter.
You would start looking for your entry. So when you see that this market structure right here was broken, the next day, this candle closed above it. It's a sell candle. This is your pullback. If we go right now to the smaller time frame, look at what happened. Breakthrough, look at all this exhaustion, sideways movement. That's your pullback. That's your flag, bullish flag. I mean, so many things. That was your indication right here. This is where you start looking for your entry. Because why would I get into a buy on a buy candle? The buy candle closes on the top. Why do I want to get in here when, let me just delete this line, when it pulled back down here? This may be just a daily candle, but the pips from the top of this, from the close of this candle to, oh, hold on. Okay, from here to here is 28 pips. Why do I want a 28 pip drawdown? When I could,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
you see what I'm saying? Like, why would I get in up here when we know it has to pull back? We know that. So why rush the trade? Let the trade come to you. Get in where there's the pullback, the candle closed during Asian session. Go ahead and start looking for your ideal entry area, okay? So when you start to see, you can either be daring and you can just market execute, or you can see that there's a sideways consolidation. You can wait for a breakout retest. You can do a buy stop order. So the moment the market breaks out of this area, your order gets activated and you're in the trade, and you don't have to essentially wait for the retest. It's on you, on what you want to do, but understanding how this works is where you're going to start to make your money. So if
Okay.
you got in on the top of that candle, you would have gone in here. And then you would have to deal with the drawdown of this right here. Why would you do that when you can get in either right here or put a buy stop order and have a smaller drawdown? Well, that, yeah. You understand? Like, it's just, like, for me, I like breakout retests. I don't do a lot of stop orders, but there's nothing wrong with that. I like break and retest. So if this is what I'm looking at in the 4 hour, I may have to go down to the 15-minute or the 1 hour to look for the retest, okay? However, the smaller time, when you start to go on smaller time frames, especially if you're new and you're not as advanced, it can manipulate your mind, and you start to question your analysis, because the 15-minute is giving you a pullback and it looks like a sell, but you're going in for a buy. And if you don't understand the correlation between the charts, you can get confused and get scared and be like, oh my God, I'm not going into this trade. Like, I thought it was a buy, but it looks like a sell, and then you freak out. You have to understand that when you're analyzing something on a higher time frame, the pullback is going to occur on the smaller time frame. So this candle right here could look like a huge bearish move on the 15-minute chart. And then if you don't understand that, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, I just thought that we were going up. It's like, yeah, we are, but this is just a move down for you to get your entry with zero drawdown so you could take it up. So you have to be able to know the difference between the two. Did I confuse everybody or no? Good?
No.
Okay.
You good?
Okay. So I know I don't go over too much like the higher time frame, because I know a lot of people just want to like make quick money. And again, you can do this on smaller time frames. You can. It's just there's a lot of emotions that play with it. So at least understanding what's going on in the higher time frame, it helps you exercise your patience. So if you decide you want to go to your smaller time frames, you'll know what to look for and you'll feel more confident. That's just my personal opinion. You know, some people say no. I mean, I know great traders that work just off the 4 hour and go to the 1 hour or 30-minute for entry. So, you know, everyone trades differently. This is just how I trade. Let's look at gold real quick. So for gold, I got this retest right here, which I was so excited about, and I got a couple of pips, and then I realized, she's pulling back. So I got out of the trade. Let me delete this real quick. So at the moment, I go to the data view. Basically what's happening here is she's just in the channel, you guys. She's just retesting the channel. Now look at this. Remember what we just talked about with GN?
Yes.
Okay. It's not going to be the prettiest. All right. But we have, do I want to do this? This looks better. Okay. You see where it's support, support, support. This candle broke through. Look at what candle did the retest, the buy candle. So we just went over the opposite. So you see how it went down, and then look, the buy candle was the retest. Do we want to get into a sell here, or do we want to get into a sell up here?
At the buy candle, right?
The buy candle, because it's going to pull back and it's going to close and it's going to give you the minimal drawdown. All right. So right now we can see where this area has been highly respected. Now this daily candle, it hasn't closed. It closes this evening. So all this right here, it does nothing for me. Like, I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I need to wait to see what happens with the close. If the engulfing candle breaks the structure and we get a retest, and there is a high confirmation that this could go back up, it could break this channel, or it can just want to go up right here to the top of this channel and continue going down. I don't know that yet. I have to wait for the candle to close for me to see what's going on if I'm swing trading, okay? If I'm swing trading. Now, I saw a lot of people on Instagram get into a buy, and I completely understand because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many times did it respect this area? So within my sell trade, there was an opportunity to buy, which I personally did. So I went and bought, like I bought, okay? But now I know, look, I need to see how this candle is reacting to this area. If it's unable to penetrate this area again, then I'm good. And this is just using price action, y'all. Price action, that's it.
Yes, sir.
Look at this. It's just dancing around. It's like, you know what, just please come down. Come down. Come down. Now, again, I told you, if this area gets compromised, then I'll be looking for something else. But we can see that it's a really respected area. And until it does what we just saw with the previous pair, then we'll move forward. Now, US oil, there's actually, is it 10:30 right now?
Yep.
All right, so you
Yep.
already know I have been waiting. Well, you probably don't know. I have been waiting, like waiting. This is a strong support level, and I've been wanting this to break and retest and go up. Just based on market structure, you can see every time it hit it, it did that. And at the moment, it looks like, look, it's doing that. So just gonna, I personally would like to see this area, like the structure broken. I would like to see it land on top and then take up. But I knew that a push up was going to happen. It was inevitable. Like it was going to happen. D, did you get in this trade?
You said D?
Yeah, you're the only one that trades oil.
No, I haven't been on chart. You know what I've been on. I'm just trying to get that together real quick before I go back to this.
Oh, got you. Okay. Well, this was definitely an expected move, in my opinion. So if this, again, I want to see this breakthrough, I want to see this land, then, you know, it'll be great. But
Can that be a pattern right there?
it could be. You mean like right here, like 1,
Yep.
3? Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just a matter of waiting. Now, if someone, I didn't mark this up to be prepared for this nice bullish move. Like I don't really trade this too much, but it's still in like this channel. Hold on. I'm going to do this. Okay. So that's why I'm saying, look, I want to see a breakout. I want to see a retest. And then, you know, because it could just be playing around and continue to dance in this sideways movement, which has been completely boring. But let's see what happens. All right, guys, it's been 43 minutes. Is there anything you want me to go over?
No, not at the moment. I'm just gonna review this video.
Okay, cool. All right, well,
Did we go over GJ and I missed it, or?
yeah,
Oh, I missed it. I'll watch it again.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Okay.
Have an awesome day. I'll upload this in the training, and I'm also going to put this one on YouTube. So whoever watches this video is probably going to get some good nuggets. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.